right, November 14th, 2024. We are just about 2 hours into the day. S&P is down slightly on the day. Didn't start that way, though. Prior to PPI coming out, S&P was up on the day. PPI came out a little bit hotter than expected. S&P moved lower from 8:30 to 9:30, and from 9:30 to 11:30, S&P has moved lower as well. We are not surprised by that, and here's why. The 3D bull bear system is global macro. Yes, we only manage S&P risk with the S&P. That's the only way you're going to beat the S&P and make it a better long-term investment. But we're global macro in nature, right? The market is more connected now than ever. Really, the world is one big global macro dynamic flow chart. And if you take a look at what happened in Asia, and I'm going to show you what happened in Asia last night, you can clearly see weakness. Here's the Nikkei down, China down, Hong Kong down, Taiwan down, clearly weakness in Asia. And it became very clear to me back in the 90s when I started managing risk for Monroe Trout in Asia that the Asian markets, which are the first to open, can provide clues to the direction of the S&P 500. And if we go back and take a look at what's been going on over the last week in Asia, take a look at the Nikkei down, Hang Seng down, Shanghai down. So clear weakness around the world. In Asia, does that mean that's going to spill over into the S&P? It may. And if we take a look at an S&P chart from today, you can see here origin of the XY axis is the open. S&P has moved slightly lower. But let's take a look at the long-term picture because we're in it for the long term, right? You can clearly see S&P on its all-time highs. But look at all the volatility along the way. Plenty of opportunity here. If you want to make this 10% decline go away, 10, 15, 20% declines, doesn't even have to be a 10% decline. It could be 25, 50 basis points. Bottom line is, if you want to make the S&P a better long-term investment, you have to manage S&P risk with the S&P. You have to manage risk every day, and you have to seek profits from rallies and declines in the S&P. That's how you're going to beat the S&P and make it a better long-term investment. And that's what 3D's clients are using. They're using our bull bear system to help them make money in good times and in bad. If you have questions about bull bear, we welcome your call.